How's it going, YouTube? This is Skul, and welcome to my video game pickups for the month of November 2020. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff to show off, but before I do, wanted to address the background. The eagle-eyed viewers among you might notice that my wall is now a different color. I'm slowly beginning to repaint my room in here. Since I moved in, it used to be the master bedroom of the house, but none of us in my family needs this kind of room, so it is now my game room. But it had that very peachy colored walls, which I've never really minded too much, but it was high time that I put some new color on the walls. So you can see, we got this nice light blue on the walls now. I'm slowly painting the rest of my walls, and I have a few things to do before I finish that, but hey, at least my walls are painted. And you might also notice this area right here. I know it's not all showing up in frame, but I have created this little shelf on this wall right here to display my vintage Apple products. I also have this little iPod Touch that I'm currently using as a stopwatch because I can only record the video 5 minutes at a time. But yeah, I realized that I have a lot of old Apple stuff, and I've been watching a lot of Dank Pods recently, so I decided to make this little shelf to properly display all my old stuff. I'm slowly working on beginning an iPod, iPhone, iPad, all that stuff. A collection of vintage Apple products. And hey, if you guys want to donate something to my collection, please let me know. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and actually get to the games. I'm going to go ahead and start with the only thing I took advantage of this Black Friday. The only thing, Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 4. This might surprise some of you to know that I did not own this game. I did, physically. When the game released back in April, there was a shortage of manufacturing plants and stuff like that, so Square Enix basically could not guarantee that anyone who had pre-ordered the game would get it on release day. So I canceled my physical pre-order, bought the game digitally, which was the correct decision. It's hard to believe that I've actually got my Platinum Trophy in this game. I love this game. Of course, it just got nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, so I absolutely love this. If you haven't watched my playthrough of that, it's on my channel if you want to. This game is one of the few games in the last generation that required 2 Blu-ray discs. One to have the game data, and the other to actually play the game once it was downloaded onto your PS4. So I love this game, absolutely love it. It went on sale Black Friday for $30. I took advantage of some GameStop rewards to bring it all the way down to $20. So I got FF7R for only $20. I consider that a pretty good deal. Like I said, my only Black Friday purchase. I went ahead and also picked up a few old games for interesting reasons. First one is Bases Loaded 3 for the NES, and this is a very random game for me to specifically go after, but let me explain why. When I was growing up, my neighbor was my best friend. He was about the same age as I was, and he loved baseball. He loved baseball, playing it in real life. He was in Little League, and he had an NES game, and for the longest time I was trying to remember what that NES game was, because I hadn't played this in over 20 years, and I never even knew what it was called when I was playing it. It was just the baseball game that we played on his NES. All I remembered about it specifically was that when you hit the ball, the camera would pan across the field, and the ball would get closer to the camera, make a sound like a whoo as it was getting closer, and a whoo as it was backing off. That's pretty much all that I had to go on, and I'm trying to remember what triggered the fact that I suddenly associated it with the Bases Loaded series. I think I was watching a Classic Gaming Quarterly video or something like that. Anyway, I finally figured out Bases Loaded looks really close to that game. So I looked up gameplay videos on YouTube. Bases Loaded didn't happen. Then I found out it had a sequel, Bases Loaded 2. It was really, really close, and I was beginning to wonder if maybe I was just misremembering it. But then I found out Bases Loaded 3 exists. I looked up gameplay footage, and it is exactly as my memories think that it should look. And then, of course, I had to go to eBay and get it. It's an old sports game. It costs less than $5. I plopped it in my NES, I started playing it, and yep, this is the game that I remember playing over 20 years ago. It's amazing to me that my memory is that good that I can remember this game. And now it's even more amazing that not only could I remember it, but I actually own a copy of it. So if I ever want to relive those memories, I can. I also picked up a random Intellivision game. This is Sea Battle. This is only my second Intellivision game, and it costs like $1 or something. So the reason I got this is because I just realized this has Tri-Wing screwshot on the back. That's interesting. The reason I got this is because I've had an Intellivision for quite some time. In fact, I think I showed it off in my game pickup, in my game room tour 2 years ago. So I've had it for a while. As soon as I got it, it was dead on arrival. And from what I understand, old Intellivisions, especially a Tandyvision like what I've got, that's just something you got to expect. The electronics weren't made that well in the first place, and the console is going to turn 40 next year, so it was dead on arrival. But this last month, over the course of November, I decided to try and fix it up. So I ordered replacement capacitors, I got my multimeter out, I tore the console apart, fixed everything about it, and I plugged it into the TV, and it gave me the exact same black screen. So I thought, okay, well, let me at least rule out that it's not just a bad cartridge, because I only had one Intellivision game. So I ran to the store, bought just another random Intellivision game that they had, in this case, Sea Battle, and tried that in the Intellivision, and it still didn't work. It's now sitting on my shelf, once again collecting dust, but I tried to fix it, didn't work, and from what I've read, the best thing to do now is just to write off your losses and get another one. So right now I'm scouring eBay trying to see if there's a reasonably priced one that's guaranteed to work, and unfortunately $75 plus, which is just more than I can spend right now. This next month is Christmas, so I've got to, put my money there. It's another reason I didn't get more Black Friday gifts, or Black Friday deals, is because I have to get Christmas gifts. My cat had a vet thing, a bunch of surprise costs came up, so it's kind of surprising I got as much as I did. Among them, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color. Now, this was not cheap, but I'm glad that I got it, and I'll tell you why. As you know, I finished up my main series Pokemon collection, and I'm working on the spin-offs. This is the hardest spin-off to get complete in box. Loose, no big deal. They're on eBay all the time. $10, $15 for a cartridge, no big deal. But with the box, the manual, everything, oh man, it is not cheap. And it is rare. I mean, Pokemon Box, Ruby and Sapphire, is the one that everyone assumes is the hardest one to get. It's the most expensive, but it's on eBay all the time. You could go to eBay right now and there's a bunch of listings for it. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, especially the North American NTSC box version, really, really rare, barely pops up on eBay. I was lucky to get this for a reasonable price. And I didn't even get the thing complete. What I ended up doing was I ended up piecing it together. I got the cartridge, I got the manual, I got the health and safety booklet, and then right when I needed it the most, the box by itself popped up. So this is a part of my collection that I have pieced together myself. Super happy about it. Probably the rarest spin-off now that I can take off my list of things that I need. And now I'm up to exactly half of all spin-offs complete in box for my collection. Making a dent, slow but sure. So let me go ahead and show this off real quick. This is a newsletter from Limited Run Games. And what they've started doing this year is every time they send out a game to someone who ordered one, they include a newsletter. And it's a different newsletter every month. In this case, this is the one from between May and June 2020. And this one is very special to me because on the back is an interview with me. So every single person who got this newsletter between the months of May and June got to see this interview that I did with Limited Run Games. I was super happy with this. Super exciting to, be published in any case. I have to give a huge shout out to LRG because they kept sending me the wrong month. And I felt bad for bugging them about this. Like, hey, do you think maybe you could send me the issue with my interview in it? And they followed through. They stuck with it, and they got me a really nice copy. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful to them for interviewing me and for making sure that I could get a physical copy of the issue that my interview is in to keep forever. So thank you to them for that. I got this. Actually, I got this with my stimulus check. How long ago was that? This is Sisters Royale Collector's Edition for the Nintendo Switch from Strictly Limited Games. And, yeah, I had a little bit of extra money from my stimulus check. I decided to splurge. This looked like a really fun game. I love the Collector's Edition of this. Strictly Limited does an amazing job with their Collector's Editions for their games. So I just had to get this. I had to have it. Finally shipped, finally arrived this month. Actually, just a few days ago. I haven't even made room for it on my shelf yet. But yeah, I don't get collector's editions of games often, but I'm glad I got this one. And finally, let's get to my pile of Switch games. So starting off, I got Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams Ultimate Edition. And Gianna Sisters, from what I understand, was sort of a ripoff of Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers, Gianna Sisters, they're both platforming games. But from what I hear, this is actually a super, super good game. And this is one of the oldest games in my collection that I was missing. My goal is to get everything from the second year, the first 6 months of the second year of its release. By the time the Switch Collector Volume 2 comes out, the book, man, I hate having to explain that, but there's this book called The Switch Collector, and the author's releasing the second edition in 2 volumes to cover 2 halves of the second year of the Switch's release. So my hope is to get everything from the first of those volumes by the time that volume releases. They're currently targeting for next September, and I'm currently missing, I think, 12 games. So, fingers crossed. And this was one of the games I was missing. Of course, the big release this month, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I'm super happy to have gotten this game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I had hoped to stream it a lot more often than I have been, and I think I'm going to finish up the game on my own free time instead of streaming it, but no complaints. This is super fun, super addicting. Loving it. Picked up another old game I was missing, Scribblenauts Mega Pack. It was just a good deal at Best Buy. And then all the rest of these are limited run games. So we got Streets of Red, which is one of their distributed games, not one of their numbered sets. We got a bunch of Way Forward games too. We got Vitamin Collection, Mighty Switch Force Collection. We got Panzer Dragoon, which is a remake of the Sega Saturn classic. And we got 2 Star Wars games, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. And amazingly, Jedi Knight 2 comes before Jedi Knight. So yeah, lots of LRG games that finally showed up this month. Lots. I hadn't gotten a package for them in like 6 months, something like that, and they all decided to just pop up at once, including my newsletter. So hey, more Switch games to add to my collection. Who am I to complain? So thanks everyone for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. It's really hard for me to pick which one of these things was my favorite thing that I got this month, but oh man, I got a lot of awesome stuff. I'm super happy. I'm glad to have this Apple shelf now on my wall. This has just been a really, really good month for me, so hope it was a good month for you. Of course, next month is December, so let's see if I get anything awesome for Christmas. Come back then. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.